Hello, I'm here with Sina Jahan, who is our head of product engineering at Nextdata. And we have a very spicy topic, which is why do data migrations fail? And Sina, this is something you've got a lot of experience with, right?
You cannot be in this industry and not go through this. I think anyone who has worked in this industry for a while have been a part of the migrations. I have been involved in more migrations because I used to be a consultant for ThoughtWorks, which meant people would call us when things go off the rails, especially in migrations, and would ask for help. So I've been in migrations, cloud migrations, different cloud to other cloud migrations for almost 15 years now. And now, as part of Nextdata, we keep hearing the same story again with a little bit of nuance different. But yeah, it has been you cannot go live your life without this.
So, why is this such a challenge in particular for data migration?
So I think if you zoom out a bit, it used to be that, oh, we are on-prem, cloud is a shiny thing, AWS was the hot thing, let's go to AWS. And that was a cloud migration, which was a huge thing. And then after a while, there's a lot of political reason that migrations off AWS happened. A couple of years ago, Azure became the biggest thing because crazy discounts. I heard at some point Microsoft, 50% of the Microsoft workforce were salespeople. We have customers who said, of course we're going to go to Azure because they're offering us 3 years for free, which is like insane amount of discount.
As long as you buy your Windows licenses and as long as
As
you
long
buy your
exactly,
Office
and you
license,
have all of that, right? You used to work for them, so you know them.
they don't need to know that. No one needs to know that.
And then so we were talking to this technologist. So like, I don't like Azure products, but I guess we are migrating. My boss, the boss's boss, someone at the C-level made the decision to move. So we're migrating from AWS, and some of it was not only sales. There was a bunch of retailers who started like, why am I paying my money to Amazon, to my competitors, so I'm gonna get off AWS, even though AWS was a superior product, 100%. But yeah, it happens. And then recently, over the past after COVID era, this all the migration is about, oh, it's a Snowflake, it's a Databricks, or the IT bought Databricks, we're gonna go off this friendly competition that I'm sure both of them are enjoying, while a bunch of technologists in the middle are thinking like, I just learned this, I just got the certifications, I just went through all of this thing, and now I have to migrate again and again and again. Um, but and don't get me wrong, I have been part of the good ones. There are good migrations that there's clear executive buy-in. There's C-level people who we are gonna shut down the license to this platform by end of 3 years, and we're gonna migrate, and there's clear better business benefits for it. But even those ones fail to achieve the goal for data, in my experience, because I don't know, data is a bit different. Like people who are the consumers of the data across the organization, they don't really care about a lot of these things.
Right.
They just want usable data. Usable, we can talk about what the usable means and all that, but they just go where the data is. So it doesn't matter if you have a bunch of fancy things on the cloud. If the real good data and is usable is on Teradata and on-prem, people will find a way and navigate the organization structure to find that usable data, regardless of your fancy shiny tools. Um,
That's really interesting because what you're saying is basically user resourcefulness, users knowing what the user utility is actually an impediment to transformation, an impediment to change.
100%. I've seen multiple times. We were doing this cloud migration. We built all of these things on cloud, and the Teradata, actually, it was actually Oracle data, was still because there have been a bunch of things around it. It was more useful, so people would just use it. You're right. Data consumers don't care.
I think the thing that I'm hearing from this is we're all part of migrations all the time, but for data, it's particularly different.
There's a couple of things that are different from data. So one is um, this happens in transactional world all the time, but for whatever reason, historical reasons, in the transactional world, there's so many levels of abstractions that infrastructure people have to still play a very play the good engineer role. Like you have Docker, you have DNS, you have HTTP, you have auth, you have OAuth, you have SSO. There's so many things that have been built over the past
Right.
30, 40 years and are standards. We have done migrations when the consumer doesn't even know on the web services that the hosting changed or the cloud changed or the web service changed or the DNS provider changed or or the Kubernetes cluster changed from AKS to AWS or whatever. However, in data, we don't have any of that.
Right.
You literally connect to a table or a file, which some of it is inevitable. Like that's why the data gravity exists and all of that. And
Right.
companies also have been playing a weird role bit by crazy egress charges. Every day you hear about this story, right?
Lots of reasons that data doesn't move as easily as apps, right? In addition to vendor pricing, also just there's not that set of sort of, you know, friction-free abstractions that let you move from one standard to another, right? At least not yet. So what could we do
That's it.
differently, Sina? What can we do differently here?
Yeah, I think that's the whole premise of Nextdata and data. That's why data mesh resonated a lot. A big portion of people who call us are like, this whole decentralized thing, how can we do that? How can we keep it decentralized? Because these are the people who have gone through these migrations on data and they have realized the ROI really sucks here. Like we are not getting the benefit that we are hoping to get at the end. We didn't, yeah, we are a new shiny tool. Our resumes are good. Our LinkedIn profiles are great. We have got the picture with all the new vendors, but still, the consumer is not happy. The data is not at the fingertip. The data is not democratized. Whatever fancy word that your C-suite is using to talk about the transformation aspects of the of data, that is still not happening. So that's why decentralized makes sense. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying let's do this stuff, all of this stuff. Data should be like apps. That would be crazy. We know it's different. Data world is different. The technology gets shaped around the data versus in transactional world. That's not really true. But maybe we can learn some stuff from it and bring it over here. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. What are the examples in transactional world? You containerize your app in a Docker file, and it doesn't matter if what container service you're using, right? Or you go to a web service and you say, okay, I want, uh, here's my headers, give me the file, give me the data in HTML or JSON or XML or GraphQL or whatever. And the web service has to figure out how to do that. That's their job. It's not your job as a consumer to do jump through hoops to do that. Or you do security with OAuth and SSO and things like that. Maybe we can take some of those ideas over here. Maybe I can talk to a over HTTP and ask data for semantics and ask data for discovery information and ask data for data SLAs and know what the SLA of this specific data, like data not as a bunch of tables and files, but data that has arms and legs that I can have an interaction with as a consumer. And don't and ask it, hey, give me a connection on Parquet files, or give me a connection on a SQL table, or give me a connection on Delta table or Iceberg or whatever I need to get my job done, and let the HTTP server figure out how to do that. Let the service do that, the heavy lifting, not the consumer. Or we have been doing this policy assignment in service mesh for a long time. Envoy has done this from Lyft many years ago. You can apply different kind of policies to a web service for retrying, for network trafficking, for a bunch of things. There's a bunch of computational policies in data. There's data retention policies. There's security policies. There's encryption policies. Why can't we have a standard for that policy applying to data world? Maybe we can bring some of those things over here on the data world and get inspired by those.
Maybe we can. Maybe we can do that. Well, here's the story for those of you that are listening. It's you don't have to imagine that that's what we're building, and feel free to get in touch with us, and we'd be happy to show you a demo and get you involved in our early experience program before we launch, and give you an opportunity to learn more. So thank you, Sina, for being so provocative. So in closing, your data migration program is probably going to fail, but you just don't need to do it. Is that the bottom line?
As the bottom line, let's come see a demo. Maybe we can save you that headache. You can keep the data where it is and still get the benefits of decentralized data without doing yet another migration. Don't
Awesome.
give up. Don't give up on replatforming.
Great.
Sorry, that was wrong. Don't give up on your existing efforts that have gone through your current platform. Don't give into the illusion of, if I replatform one more time into this next new shiny thing, all my problems will be solved. They won't.
Your platform's not the problem.
Your platform is not the problem. Yeah, most of the time.